Hey all, Hud here, and welcome back to the 2-Minute Drill, where today we'll be going over the Michigan Wolverines. The best and most obvious draftable talent this team has comes from the offensive line, where they've got talent aplenty. Headed by Ryan Hayes at offensive tackle, Hayes, the reliable senior, looks to be a potential day one draft pick with a strong season. He's got amazing play strength, and he has good mobility to take on any edge rusher at the NFL level and absolutely stonewall them. As well, Zinter on the interior is a guy to keep an eye on in day two. He's a very strong player. He's 320 pounds, and he makes some movement in the run game consistently. Don't forget to keep an eye on wide receiver Ronnie Bell, who, despite an ACL tear last year, was hyped up as a potential day two draft pick, and I think he can easily get back to that status with his strong season this year. Finally, on the offense, keep an eye on Erick. This tight end, he can do it all. He's a good blocker, he's a good receiver, and he's a kind of tight end NFL teams look for. He can play in line, he can play off the line. He's going to be someone to keep an eye on day two in the NFL draft. Lastly, defensively, Michigan lacks a lot of star power this year, but defensive tackle Mazi Smith is definitely someone who will be drafted as a run defender in day three. He's a very strong nose tackle who gets a lot of movement in the ground game, and some team will take a chance on his athleticism, making him a potential pass rusher in the league as well. So to recap, Ryan Hayes leads the Michigan team in talent this year. He has the potential to go as early as day one with a strong season, and he will be one of the top offensive tackles in this year's draft class. Follow that up with Zinter on day two, Ronnie Bell on day two, and Erick on day two, with Mazi Smith coming in on day three, and you've got a very star-studded 2023 draft class for this Michigan Wolverines team. Other players to keep an eye on include running back Blake Corum, wide receiver Cornelius Johnson, who had one heck of a season after Ronnie Bell went down last year, offensive lineman Trevor Keegan, and transfer offensive lineman Oluwatimi, who looks to have a very strong season after being an All-American in 2021. Defensively, keep an eye on edge Mike Morris and wide receiver turned defensive back Mike Sainristil. VegasInsider says Michigan is a 9.5 win team this year, and I'm going to take the over all day. As you can see, they have one of the weakest out-of-conference schedules in the NCAA, and their hardest games will be against Michigan State and Iowa this year, and I think Michigan can win both of those games very easily. And that is the 2-Minute Drill.